What does he mean by me? People that vote Conservative. So we're the bad guys. If you don't agree with the little funny Mayor Khan, you are, by default, the bad guy.
Jim Davidson steps in. Heated clash over Tommy Robinson supporters and SADIQ Khan. You're not going to believe this. What started as just another round of heated political debate suddenly turned into one of the most talked about confrontations of the week. Comedian and entertainer Jim Davidson, yes, the outspoken figure who never shies away from controversy, has now jumped right into the storm surrounding Tommy Robinson supporters and their running battles with London's Mayor, SADIQ Khan. And the timing couldn't be more explosive. Because while Parliament is wrestling with spiraling public anger, and while ordinary Londoners are demanding answers about protests, policing, and free speech, Davidson has stepped in with words that shook the entire conversation. So, here's what happened. In a recent appearance and follow-up comments, Jim Davidson publicly defended the right of Tommy Robinson supporters to voice their concerns, saying they've been unfairly written off as troublemakers by the political establishment. He argued that dismissing them outright only fuels division. And in the process, he took direct aim at SADIQ Khan, accusing him of failing to listen to ordinary people. Now, pause there for a second. This isn't just a celebrity weighing in on politics for a few headlines. This was a calculated intervention, a warning shot, if you like, into one of the most heated cultural battles in Britain right now. For years, Tommy Robinson has been one of the most polarizing figures in the UK. His supporters claim they're standing up for free speech, for security, for the rights of ordinary British people who feel ignored. Critics, including SADIQ Khan, argue that Robinson and his movement stir up division and push dangerous narratives. So when Davidson came out defending the supporters, not necessarily Robinson himself, but those who rally behind him, it landed like a bombshell.
Why?
Because it touched the nerve politicians hate to confront, the feeling among many voters that they're silenced or demonized when they speak up. Reactions came flooding in. Social media lit up instantly. One viewer wrote, "At last, someone in the public eye has the guts to say what so many of us feel." Another shot back, "Jim Davidson defending them? This is reckless, and it only makes things worse." The split was clear. Some praised him for breaking what they see as a culture of silence. Others condemned him for stepping into dangerous territory. And SADIQ Khan? His allies were quick to respond, insisting that Davidson was inflaming an already tense situation. One Labour MP was quoted as saying, "This is exactly the kind of reckless platforming we don't need." But Davidson doubled down, saying his critics were missing the point. His argument wasn't about endorsing one man, but about defending the principle of listening to those who feel unheard. Think about it. It's a collision between entertainment, politics, and public outrage. Because when figures like Davidson speak, it cuts through in a way politicians often can't. People listen, whether they agree or not. And right now, in Britain, there's a sense that establishment leaders from Parliament to City Hall are struggling to keep control of the national conversation. In fact, one political commentator summed it up with this: "If comedians are making more sense to the public than elected officials, that tells you everything about the disconnect we're facing." Let's step back and look at the wider picture. This isn't happening in isolation. Across Europe and even in South Africa, we're seeing the same themes play out. The clash between populist voices and established political elites. The tension between free speech and hate speech. And the growing frustration of ordinary people who feel misrepresented by the media and ignored by politicians. Jim Davidson's comments landed right at the crossroads of all those issues. And whether you agree with him or not, one thing is undeniable: he's reignited a debate that isn't going away anytime soon. So what does this mean for SADIQ Khan? Well, his leadership in London is already under scrutiny, from rising crime concerns, to heated debates over policing protests, to accusations that he dismisses critics too quickly. Now, with Davidson pulling public attention back onto this flashpoint, Khan is under even more pressure. Some conservative voices are already using the moment to hammer Khan, saying he's out of touch. One even told reporters, "If the mayor can't handle criticism, then he's in the wrong job." Meanwhile, Labour insiders are worried that incidents like this could alienate voters ahead of future elections. Because for every person who dismisses Davidson as irrelevant, there's another who feels he's saying what they've been thinking all along. And here's the real question. Is this just about one celebrity and one mayor trading barbs? Or is it about something much bigger, a country where the political class and the public are no longer speaking the same language? Davidson's intervention may not change policy overnight, but it does change the tone. It forces people to stop and confront the unease bubbling under Britain's political surface. And as one senior political analyst put it, moments like this seem small, until you look back and realize they were the sparks that set bigger fires. So where does it go from here? Well, protests are still happening. Public anger isn't fading. And political leaders, including Sadiq Khan, are being pushed to respond in ways that don't just shut down voices, but engage with them. The challenge? That's easier said than done. Because once the divide hardens, once the public feels dismissed, trust doesn't return easily. And that's where we are today. A comedian stepping into politics. A mayor fighting off criticism. And a nation wondering who, if anyone, is really listening. And the question remains, if Jim Davidson's words sparked this much reaction in just a few days, what happens when more public figures decide to wade into the fire? Because if this is just the beginning, how much deeper does it go?